Something wrong, Chief? What's with the big sigh?
Well, it's nothing, really. Since you arrived and we began investigating Kanai Ward's ultimate secret, it seems we're all tense every day. I think it's just getting to me a bit. I can't seem to find a way to feel all nice and relaxed.
I see.
Damn it all. I long for the days when things were so uneventful.
Before we came here, most of your work concerned infidelity and looking for lost pets, right?
Yup. I used to just stare out the window and check whether the occasional client's spouse was cheating or not. I'd tail the target, and sure enough, they'd be cheating. And the missus would end up crying when I reported back. It was the same old story every day.
This may be rude of me, but that doesn't sound very fun. In fact, it sounds kind of boring.
Sure is. But you know what they say, every job is equally important. Just because a job may look more glorious, it doesn't mean it's better. Nothing wrong with plain old boring jobs. What's most important is whether you can be proud of what you do.
Oh, look at Fuzzhead trying to act all cool.
Huh? What's wrong? You fell quiet out of nowhere.
I just wasn't expecting that kind of stuff from you. I'm a bit moved.
Not expecting? What's your image of me anyway?
Sorry. But really, I'm impressed. You're right. All jobs are equally important. I'll make sure I keep that in mind.
Yeah, you do that. When you hang around master detectives a lot, you start to think you belong to a special class of people.
It's true. I hang out with them so much that I was starting to think I was on their level. I better be more careful about this.
I have a saying when it comes to my own work philosophy. Nothing beats a drink after a hard day's work.
I do hear that a lot.
Well, it's all bogus anyway. Any time is a good time for booze. A good drink is way better if you get to imbibe without having to work for it. What's wrong? You're quiet again. Are you amazed by my grown-up philosophy?
I'm sorry, but I need to reconsider how impressed I was just now.
What? I can't believe you'd say that so fast!
Master, you and Yakou seem to have grown closer.
I'm back! Huh? What happened?
Oh, Yuma. I'm done for.
Seriously, what happened?
Well, Desuhiko and Halara got into a fight while gambling. You know how stubborn those two are. I tried to calm them down, but things got out of hand. I didn't know what to do, but then Fubuki showed up. And she started shouting for them to quit fighting. She jumped right in. And things just descended into chaos.
I think I get the picture.
In the end, those two made up just so they wouldn't have to deal with the situation. They'll never listen to a thing I say. I'm not sure I can lead these monsters. Maybe I'm not cut out to be boss here.
That's not true. You're doing great, Chief.
Me? Great? What have I done that's great?
What? Well... How do I put this? I think everyone is able to smile thanks to you. Working under your supervision keeps everybody cheerful.
So I'm nothing better than a mood setter. If any of you bought a puppy, I'd be unemployed.
Now he's totally sulking.
No, what else is the chief great at? Anyway, you're great!
What do you mean?
I don't have the right words, but I think you're great in your own way, Chief.
Sounds a bit forced. Still, thanks. All I needed was a good laugh to feel better about everything. Well then, I'll continue being the boss for now.
Looks like he finally cheered up.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh, that reminds me. There's something I want to ask you.
What's up?
It's about my memories. At this rate, I worry I won't remember anything. So I was hoping we could make, like, a mission plan, or at least a list of things I could try, to jog my memory.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say, but handling stuff like that is way out of my league.
Huh?
Never mind that. Feeling down got me hungry. Hey, did you buy a meat bun for me? I hope you didn't forget the mustard.
I know he's not a bad person, but still... Maybe he really isn't fit to be in charge.
Master, you and Yakou seem to have grown even closer together.
Hey, Yuma, can I ask you for a favor?
Huh? What is it?
How do I put this?
Why the hesitancy? That's not like you, Chief.
Right. We're pals after all.
Yeah.
Then I'll say it. Well, will you lend me some money?
No.
Huh? Why? You said we're pals!
I did, but I don't have any money. You can't draw blood from a stone.
I heard kids these days have lots in savings.
Why do you even need any money? You should have more than I do.
Well, I've been drinking more recently, so my living expenses have been stretched thin.
Isn't that your own fault then?
Sheesh. My employees are so heartless. I wish some super profitable job would fall into my lap. If only I had a master detective's abilities, I could easily make some cash.
Yeah, I feel the same way. A master detective could make a ton of money if they use their powers for profit.
Right? I wonder why these guys just work as detectives. I don't understand it one bit.
Speaking of, you've met a bunch of master detectives, haven't you, Chief?
Yeah, I sure have.
Have you seen any particularly amazing abilities? I'm curious about what other kinds of master detectives are out there.
Amazing abilities, huh? But to me, they were all amazing, since I don't have any myself. But among them all, the one that really freaked me out was the ability to hear the culprit's inner voice.
Huh? Wouldn't that make them unstoppable as a detective?
Yeah, it's considered the all-time ace up the WDO sleeve. Seeing it with my own eyes sure made me feel depressed. Can I really call myself a detective when there's a monster like that doing this job?
You're right. it makes me feel unsure myself. In fact, it brings me down whenever I compare myself to everyone here.
There's no point in developing an inferiority complex just because you don't have any abilities. People just gotta play with the cards they're dealt. Even if you're dealt a terrible hand, sometimes, just sometimes, you can manifest the power of the Joker card.
But having no forte is like not even being dealt a hand.
That's not true. There's stuff you can do because you don't have one.
Is that really true?
Yeah, trust my many years of experience. I'm sure of it.
Well, do you have an example?
I think it's better you figure it out for yourself. Yeah? What do you think?
Think about it. What can you do without any abilities?
Slow and steady investigation? I can take my time doing the legwork.
That is something you can do without abilities, but it's also something you could do if you had them.
You're right. Then... is there anything I can do because I don't have abilities? I know how regular people feel?
Yeah, that's it. Although if you had the ability to read minds, you could understand people's feelings and use it for information. But you'd never be able to join them among the have-nots. To be the same as the vast majority of people is a powerful tool for a detective. That's why there's no need to feel down, even if you don't have any special powers.
Right, I'll keep that in mind. Chief, sometimes you say some really profound things.
Sometimes? What's that supposed to mean?
Master, you and Yakou seem to have grown even closer together.
I guess you could say that. Chief, what made you want to become a detective?
Huh? That came out of nowhere.
I'd understand it if you had special powers like everyone else. But you're not like them. So I want to know what made you decide to be a detective.
I see. Well, you could say something encouraged me, but it's not very interesting. As a kid, I was basically Watson.
Like a detective's assistant?
Back in high school, I worked as a part-timer at a small detective agency. But obviously, I never got to do any exciting stuff like investigate murders. All I did was find lost pets and cheating spouses.
So exactly what the Nocturnal Detective Agency was doing before we showed up.
Yeah, that's right. But one time, I was involved in the real deal. I took part in an investigation of a murder case. Though I was a kid at the time, so I couldn't do much. The detective there was just some slovenly old guy, but he solved that case like Holmes would have. I sure looked up to him after that.
So that's why he strove to become a detective.
If I didn't have an admiration for detectives, or if I had never taken that part-time job at the agency, I wouldn't have become one.
Chief looks kinda sad. Do you regret it?
You mean regret being a detective?
Yeah, you looked real sad all of a sudden.
Well, I had to deal with a bunch of troublesome stuff after I became a detective. There had been times I wished I'd never taken this path. But there's also happiness I never would have experienced had I not become one. A lot of people I never would have met, too. Like you guys, for example.
Chief.
I know. Let's go out and eat sometime. You know, talking about the past sure made me want to drink. You should join me.
Does that mean you're buying?
You better hurry up and get ready before I leave you behind.
Why did you ignore my question? Well, after losing my memories, I'm glad it was everyone here I ended up meeting. Wait, the chief said he doesn't regret being a detective, but why did he look so sad? Maybe I misinterpreted.
Master, you and Yakou seem to have grown even closer together.
Jeez. Things have been getting troubling lately. Yuma, you got anything to share that could cheer me up?
Huh? I don't know what to say when I'm put on the spot like that.
How are things going with you and Kurumi? I want you to pull on my heartstrings with stories of young love.
There's nothing like that between us. It's not like I like her or anything.
You're just not being honest with yourself.
What about you, Chief? From the looks of things, you appear to be single. I thought you said you used to be pretty popular.
Sure was. Back in my prime, I went way beyond 3 and 4 timing. Everybody was head over heels for me.
You sure about that?
Nah, I seriously doubt it.
They'd all be fighting for my attention whenever I got a minute of free time. Oh, and they'd get so jealous if they found out they weren't my one and only. It was adorable. They were like cute little kittens, the way they'd come up to me wanting a drink.
Huh? Wanting a drink? Wait a minute. You're referring to a hostess club. The women all worked there, didn't they?
What? No!
You admitted they were all asking you for drinks.
Crap.
Chief, you don't need to put on airs like that. You're not a kid anymore.
I'm sorry. The truth is, I wasn't popular at all.
Why would you lie about that?
Well, Yuma, just remember one thing.
Huh? What?
I'm speaking here as a man with much more life experience, not as your chief. If you fall in love with a woman, you have to protect her, no matter what. That, and that alone, is why men are made to be men.
Huh? Sure.
What's up with Fuzzhead? He looks so serious.
I'll keep that in mind, but what's gotten into you all of a sudden?
Well, I stopped visiting the girl I liked for a while. When I was broke, then I found out she quit and went back home. People only realize how important something is after they've lost it.
I don't quite understand. I can't tell if he's being serious or not. He laughed it off at the end, but I could tell that story was important to him. I'll keep what he said in mind.
the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.
Oh no, I got careless and ended up alone with Halara. I guess I should be the one to start the conversation. I'm the rookie, after all. But what do I say?
Do you feel awkward?
Huh?
It's natural to strike up a conversation when two people are together. Such is the mundane way of the masses. You're overtaxing your tiny brain to do so, aren't you?
Well, sort of.
Then how about you and I have a wager?
But I thought the chief said no more gambling.
The boss said it's forbidden, so you won't do it. You think I can be swayed by that sort of logic? Besides, gambling can nurture skills that every detective needs. I believe it will be to your benefit.
And what sort of skills are you talking about?
Instead of always asking for answers, why not figure it out for yourself for once?
Yeah, think!
A skill needed by detectives, which can be trained by gambling. Your sixth sense?
Please don't start spewing nonsense. Any sensation people refer to in such a way can be isolated and logically explained. Your brain will rot if you continue to use careless words like that.
I'll be more careful. And the skill that can be trained by gambling is... observational skills?
That's right. Gambling isn't merely decided by coincidence. For example, in poker, you can study the cards already in play, as well as the expressions of dealers and players. You observe all that, make logical deductions, and commence battle. How about it? Wouldn't you agree those are the skills every detective needs?
I get what you're saying, but...
When are you going to stop nitpicking? After all you made me explain, you will have to play a match with me.
But there's no way I stand a chance against you.
Not to worry. We'll do a warm-up first, with nothing wagered. I'm not going to hustle a beginner straight off the bat.
Okay. Yes! I beat you!
It was just a game of heads or tails, but still, you show some promise.
Does that mean I have talent as a detective?
Yes, you can say that for sure. Now the real game begins. First, let's wager. I think we should start with 10,000 Yen.
Right. This isn't how it was supposed to go.
Don't be foolish. I lost the warm-up so you'd feel that rush, and mistake your own skill level. It's rather obvious I did it on purpose. I let you get carried away and made you take a gamble against me.
That's terrible!
Aw, you got completely hustled. You picked the wrong detective to mess with.
I think that was a rather good learning experience. It's crucial for detectives to doubt other people's intentions, no matter the circumstances. I won't charge you interest for now, but you must tell me immediately when you've developed a payment plan.
Halara is totally ruthless.
Master, you and Halara seem to have grown closer.
You got some nerve stopping me. There'd better be a proper reason for this.
It's about something you mentioned. You developed post-cognition just 3 days after joining the World Detective Organization.
Yes, but I still had the gift of psychometry before I joined the WDO. What made you want to ask about it?
I can't help thinking about it. Do I really lack a forte?
You have that coalescence ability.
That's not exactly my ability. It's different, sorta. Anyway, I refuse to believe I don't have a real forte.
So you want to find out if you do?
Yes, that's right. I figured you'd be the most knowledgeable about fortes here. If I have any sort of ability, you may be able to help me remember it.
That's no good! There you go again, depending on others.
Very well. That'll be 100,000 yen.
100,000? I figured Halara wouldn't do it for free, but it's worth it if it helps me remember my abilities. All right. I'm a bit short at the moment, but I'll pay you back one day.
Good. It's a deal. I will provide you useful information as long as time permits. Now, let's start with the prerequisites. Master detective abilities are often linked with original talents and dispositions. That is typically the case.
Linked with original talents?
Take, for example, a master detective who could hear the thoughts of others. Prior to awakening that ability, they excelled at imagining what other people were actually feeling. A master detective who can create electricity may have had a tendency to emit static charges before that. Oftentimes, you can catch glimpses of their power before their forte is realized. The prerequisite for my post-cognition was psychometry. I was practically born with it.
Halara, you already started with such an amazing ability. But how did you manage to get it in the first place?
It's hard to explain. Superior detectives like myself cannot be measured by a commoner's logic.
I see.
Anyway, this is about your ability. Once we figure out your strengths and talents, we could at least predict what your power may be. That is, if you have one to begin with.
My strengths?
It has to be what you know best. Think about it.
My strengths are... If I had to pick something, I'd say the will to never give up. At least, I think so.
You actually said it out loud yourself.
I see. The fact that you haven't given up on your search for an ability is proof enough of that. A tenacious heart that never gives up. An ability stemming from that. Perhaps it could have something to do with immortality.
Immortality?
That's nothing but my theory, though. Even death cannot defeat you. Wouldn't you say that embodies the concept of tenacity well?
That's true, but there's no way to verify if I am or not.
Incorrect. You just need to try dying once.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I was joking.
It's really hard to tell.
Well, that should do it. Time's up. I'll excuse myself here. Don't forget, you owe me 100,000 Yen.
Oh, wait! Halara's gone. I'm beginning to worry more about my debt than if I can remember my ability.
Master, you and Halara seem to have grown even closer.
This is medicine for the soul.
What are you doing, Halara?
I could ask you the same thing.
The chief asked me to do some shopping. I just happened to see you, Halara. Why are you staring at cat pictures in the dark?
You were watching?
Wow, you really were looking at cat photos.
That was a bluff? You of all people?
No. But I have seen you looking at cat photos before. Do you own a cat or something?
No, this is just a photo of a cute cat. I find it calming, so I carry it with me.
Oh, really?
What? You look like you have something to say.
No, it's nothing like that. I'm just happy to see a human side of you. I didn't expect you to be a cat lover.
That's not surprising. I know full well it doesn't fit my image, so I hide my affection for cats. I hope you understand you are not to tell anyone about this.
Right, I won't. But why do you like cats so much?
It's none of your concern.
But you don't want me to tell anyone, right?
Is that a threat? You're really threatening me?
No, that's not what I meant.
You've grown braver since the day I met you. The reason why I like cats isn't a simple subject. What do you think is the best thing about cats?
Huh? The best thing? How free they are?
It's true that cats are free to do as they please. Cats behave freely with elegance. You could say they embody freedom. There are some who would call them selfish, but those words don't hold weight. Those who criticize cats are nothing but marionettes shaped like humans.
I see.
But the freedom-loving nature of cats being their most charming quality is still debatable.
I've never seen Halara contemplate something so seriously. What's the best thing about cats? Their most charming quality. It's hard to choose.
Yes, exactly.
Huh?
There is no way to determine a cat's single greatest trait. The elements that comprise cats, the information they emit, all are equally valuable.
I see.
Moreover, I can list every charming quality cats have and discuss them in extreme detail. Let's begin with the obvious topics. For example, their fragrance.
This is bad. It's going into super obsessive territory. Maybe Halara is happy to finally talk to someone about cats, since this side is usually hidden.
You need to stop this soon, otherwise it'll never end.
If you like cats so much, have you ever wanted to own one yourself? Huh? What's wrong?
I'm allergic to cats.
Oh.
For some reason, whenever I touch a cat, my skin becomes itchy. I've tried several times and it always happens. Jeez. Who made me this way?
I see. It's a shame Halara is allergic to cats. To think a master detective has this sort of weakness, I can't help but feel sympathetic.
Master, you and Halara seem to have grown even closer.
You haven't told anyone about that thing, have you?
Huh? What thing?
My adoration for cats. And my cat allergies.
I haven't told anyone. We made a promise.
You better be telling the truth.
It is true. Halara, you should trust me more.
You know I don't trust humans.
You have said that before. Why are you so mistrusting? There's no way you being a detective fully explains it.
That's none of your concern.
But I'd like to know if there's a reason why.
I'm not telling.
Halara is so stubborn. But I still have a card I can play. But you don't want me to tell anyone about the cat thing, right?
Is that a threat?
I'm joking. I want to know as much as I can about my coworkers here at the agency. But I'm not going to force you to say something if you don't want to.
Fine. As long as you continue keeping quiet about the cats, I will tell you.
Are you sure?
It's nothing interesting, mind you. When I was young, I didn't suspect others like I do today. You could say I was pure and innocent. I never doubted what people told me. Whenever someone lied, I thought they had no other choice. I truly believed that.
A pure and innocent Halara? I can't even begin to imagine it.
Something made me change during middle school. My parents were caught in a scam. It was a common investment scam where they thought they were investing in stocks. Fortunately, it didn't bring total financial ruin to our family. However, this led to my father becoming utterly depressed, and his relationship with my mother suffered, which resulted in a so-called broken home.
I see.
Are you disappointed by this boring story?
No, it's not that.
Well, the event itself isn't important. What matters is the culprit.
The culprit? Was the culprit a relative?
No, that's not it. The culprit who scammed my parents was my best friend.
What? But didn't you say this happened when you were in middle school?
That's correct. In that sense, my friend was a precocious con artist. My so-called friend used clever ploys to extract information from me, then used it to scam my parents. In the end, I was the one who destroyed our family. It was my fault.
I don't think that's the case, Halara.
No. It was the direct result of my overly optimistic outlook on life. Once it was all over, I made my decision. People will always betray other people. Humans are not to be trusted. I chose to never believe in another person again.
So that's Halara's origin story.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize it'd be this serious. I shouldn't have threatened you like that, even jokingly.
Don't look at me like that. It may be a bitter memory, but learning what I value as a detective at such an early age was for my own good. We can't expect innate goodness from those we interact with daily. That is simply impossible. Because of that experience, I'm unfazed when I see one person betraying another.
Halara is shrugging it off like some joke. That profile, that face seems to feel nothing. But I think there's melancholy and sorrow in that expression.
Master, you and Halara seem to have grown even closer.
Halara asked for me, so I'm at the cafe. Halara? Did you want something from me?
Do you really have to ask? It's about your debt, obviously. Well, how do you plan on paying me back?
Sorry.
Well, you can't do anything but apologize.
It appears you have no repayment plan in place. If you don't change that soon, I will consider implementing interest.
Please don't.
Then you better come up with a plan to pay me back.
All right. But if all you wanted to talk about was my debt, why'd you invite me here? We could have gone over it at the agency.
I don't want you to grow accustomed to owing me. People lose their sense of urgency in paying back debts when complacent. That's why I'm reminding you right now.
I see. It's not my place to say since I'm the one in debt here, but don't you make enough money as a detective, Halara? You're always trying to make more. What do you need all that money for anyway?
I suppose I can tell you.
Huh?
If I continue to save at this rate, I will be able to create a program in about 6 years. That is what the money is for.
A program?
A program that will save 30% of all cats around the world experiencing hardship.
What? Oh, That caught me so off guard that I don't know what to say. You want to start a charity?
No, not a charity. This is all for my personal satisfaction. Cats provide a healing experience, so I want to give back to them in some way. That's all.
That's amazing! How wonderful!
Enough. As I said, this is all for my personal satisfaction. I don't want to hear your praise for it.
Oh, but if it's so important, why did you tell me? I didn't even threaten you or anything.
Yes, about that. I'm sure you already know this, but a detective can lose their life at any moment.
Yeah, you did teach me that.
So if I were to die, I want you to carry out this plan for me. I've been thinking it over for a while. I figured this was a good time to tell you.
Huh? Why me, though?
I'm not sure myself. Why do you think?
Could it be that it's because you trust me? I hope I'm not assuming too much there.
Incorrect. No matter who it is, I will not trust any human. So it is not accurate to say, I trust you.
I see.
However, I wouldn't mind being betrayed by you. Or rather, I would accept a betrayal at your hands.
Huh? Isn't that practically the same as trusting me?
In my mind, it's entirely different. I don't trust you.
Okay. But the way you said you wouldn't mind if I betrayed you, that makes me way happier than if you just said you trusted me.
Anyway, we were discussing something else. You will pay your debt to me in full.
Yeah, I know.
Master, you and Halara have forged the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.
Such an over-exaggerated sigh. What's wrong?
Jeez. Why did you have to be a dude?
Huh? That was unexpected.
I had such high hopes, you know. When the chief said he was bringing one more in, I was hoping for a bright young cutie. And as she saw my incredible heroic feats, little by little, we'd fall in love. It'd blossom into a secret inter-office romance. Oh, nice and sexy. But instead, the chief brought in some dirty kid with amnesia. All my high hopes were for nothing!
You're pretty much a little kid yourself.
Desuhiko, you have no one to blame but yourself for that.
What? As a dude, anyone would have some hope. That's how dudes are. It's as common as not washing your hands after using the bathroom.
But I wash my hands.
Ugh. I hate this. You toyed with my innocent heart.
Huh? Wait, you're seriously sulking about this?
Why would I not be serious about this? I'm dead serious in my sulking.
This is a bit much. I thought he was half joking. I didn't think he was completely serious.
He'll be a pain in the ass if he keeps on like this. Maybe you should do something to cheer him up.
But what should I do? How about I cook something up for you?
Are you kidding? The chief warned me already. Your cooking is absolutely terrible. He said raw garbage tastes 100 times better.
So he said that, huh? Well, in that case... You know, I don't think it's a good idea to get into a relationship with someone from work to begin with.
What? Come on, get off your high horse already.
Well, dating in the workplace is one thing, but I also think you're not fit to be in any relationship.
What? No one knows how girls think better than me. Do you know how much I think about girls every single day?
That's not what I meant. Desuhiko, I don't know if a ladies' man like yourself could remain in a relationship with just one girl. So I figured you should refrain from that stuff, you know?
Huh?
Considering how attractive you are, I'm sure you're better off having lots of fans. I think it fits you way better anyway. Did it work?
Did it work?
Yeah, I see. Now that you mention it, maybe you're right. I'm not that kind of guy, but I totally get that you'd see me that way. You know what? You're a good kid. Hey, let me know if the others pick on you. I'll come to your rescue.
Sure, thanks. Oh, I guess we sorted that out. But I wonder if I can really get along with him.
Master, you and Desuhiko seem to have grown closer.
I'm back! Huh? Are you here alone, Chief?
Yeah, Halara and Desuhiko were here a bit ago. When I got here, they just up and left. I'm sure they're gambling again. Never mind them. Yuma?
Yes? What is it?
What do you think of Desuhiko?
Hmm? Why do you ask?
No reason. I'm curious about what you think of him. It's no big deal or anything. I just want to know.
Why would you even wonder about it?
Don't sweat the details. Just tell me what you think of Desuhiko.
What I think of Desuhiko? He tends to clown around sometimes.
Clown?
He gets easily carried away with stuff. His tendency to not take things seriously might be off-putting to some people.
So that's how you feel.
Hmm? Wait a minute. That reaction. I misspoke. To tell you the truth, I think he's been a great mentor to me here at the agency. He's easy to talk to, and he's considerate in subtle ways. He's rather kind-hearted, too.
Oh, I see. What else?
His reaction. Now I know for sure. You're Desuhiko, aren't you?
Huh? You knew? That's no fun at all.
I knew it.
You're pretty good at seeing through my disguise.
I wouldn't have known if you hadn't given yourself away. But why are you in disguise anyway?
Huh? You still don't realize it? I was testing you.
Testing?
That's a test to see if you're worthy of being my apprentice.
An apprentice? My master?
Concluding this impartial examination. Congratulations, you've passed! Feel free to weep with joy. I'll be taking you under my wing.
Huh? But I didn't... Why do you want me to be your apprentice?
There's only one reason. It'll make me look more like a star. In fact, it's a requirement for stardom.
It is?
Yep, there's no mistake about it. Anyway, from here on out, I need you to work hard.
Desuhiko's apprentice. I don't get how that makes him look like a star, but I suppose it wouldn't be all that bad. It could be educational for me to learn from a detective firsthand. It might even help me remember my powers.
You actually want to do this?
All right, I don't mind being your apprentice, Desuhiko. It'll help me learn how to be a detective, too.
Huh? You thought I meant it as a detective thing?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I was gonna train you to become a star. Not the ABCs of being a detective, but how to ooze charisma and charm. Stuff like that. Give it 6 months. With my training, you'll shine half as bright as me.
If that's the case, I think I'll pass.
Huh? You sure? You'll never get another chance like this.
Yeah, but I think it's too good for me.
Really? Yeah, okay then.
Master, you and Desuhiko seem to have grown even closer.
Desuhiko took me to a rooftop.
Being so high up feels fantastic. Makes you feel alive.
So why'd you call me up here?
But didn't I tell you why?
No, you told me to shut up and follow along.
Sorry about that. I totally forgot. I love the view from here, so I wanted to share it with you, my man.
The view? Well, I guess it's not so bad, but it isn't exactly exciting either.
Yeah, it's not the best view in the world or anything. The reason why I love it up here is because it helps me envision my mission of becoming a star.
Your mission?
Yep. It's to completely capture the hearts of all the people I can see from here. If I can't charm them all, then who am I to say I'm a star, you know?
I suppose that's normal to expect from a star, yeah?
Totally! A real star could charm 100 or even 1,000 times more people.
Speaking of which, I've been wondering, why do you want to be both a star and a detective at the same time?
Huh? Where did that come from?
Well, I figure detective work is done in the shadows, but a star kinda has to stand out and shine. I just thought it's a weird combination.
I see. Well, I was planning on writing about it in my autobiography. But why not? I'll let you in on a little secret, my man.
I had the feeling he was itching to talk about it.
So, the reason why I'm both a detective and a star. I should start with why I became a detective in the first place. Here's why. I had the talent for it.
Huh? That's rather short.
Yep, I've been handy since I was a kid. I was especially good at disguising myself. When I realized I'd make a good detective, it was smooth sailing from there.
But you didn't learn how to disguise yourself in school. How did you know you were good at it?
You might not believe it, but I was a pretty gloomy kid with some real self-esteem issues.
What, you? Really?
I always wanted to become someone else, so I started making disguises. Though I figured I had the talent for it, I was surprised to see how well it went.
You as a gloomy kid? I can't even imagine it.
And I say that, but it was honestly just the angst of growing up, and that sort of stuff. It's not like I had a terrible past or anything, so don't worry about it.
I get why you became a detective, but why do you also want to be a star?
Well, this all started while I was still training at the WDO. I was undercover as the singer of a band at a concert. At the time, I wasn't interested in becoming a star or anything, but when I stood on stage, it was Uh...
Huh? What's wrong?
Amazing! Oh, it felt so good!
Oh, you weren't done.
On that day, I decided to become a star. So I thought, next time, it'll be my own skills that get me up here.
Well, he's free to dream whatever he wants.
But you didn't quit being a detective to chase after your dream of becoming a star.
Of course not. Though the idea did cross my mind. But then I realized something. There's no need to choose. I can be both. A star gets everything he wants out of life.
That's a very Desuhiko thing to say.
But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. I was getting barely any sleep, training as a star and working as a detective at the same time.
What kind of training?
You know, the usual. Singing, dancing, and... Anyway, my man, what do you think is most important about being a star?
Huh? What the heck is he talking about now?
I wonder what it could be. Your aura?
Nice, you get it! A real star is enveloped by a special aura, all day, every day. Anyone can tell from just a glance. That's why I was willing to sacrifice my sleep to develop that aura.
Training to develop an aura sounds kinda like something out of a comic book.
Day after day, I trained as both a detective and a star. Looking back now, it sure was tough. But thanks to that, I've become a superstar detective. All that's left is for the world to realize my charm.
I see.
Hey, what's with that reaction? After everything I've shared, nothing?
It's not as though I'm uninterested or anything. I was honestly impressed.
Huh?
If I had two things I wanted to be, I would have to give up on one of them. I think you're cool for not giving up on either of them, Desuhiko.
Really? Yeah, I knew it. That's the reaction I was expecting. All right. If that's the case, you're gonna be my apprentice, right? There's currently a special promotion where I'll put 20% more effort into teaching you how to sing and dance.
I think I'll pass on that.
Master, you and Desuhiko seem to have grown even closer.
Boy, I'm stuffed.
Yeah, me too.
Well, now that we ate our fill, how about we have a little chat, man to man?
Huh? You wanna talk?
When two guys eat together, they have a man-to-man talk.
I've never heard of that before.
Well, that's just how it is. Keep it in mind. How are things going between you and Kurumi?
There's nothing between us. We're not like that, and I don't have any feelings of the sort to begin with. Even if I did, it's not like Kurumi feels the same way for me.
Oh, come on, man. You're not being honest with yourself.
Master, you're better off just the way you are. You have me, after all.
What about you, Desuhiko? Do you have somebody in your life?
Who do you think you're talking to? Of course I do. I've got tons of girls hitting on me.
Really?
Yeah. There's the girl at the shop near the station. She purposely touches my hand whenever she hands me change. And whenever the cashier lady looks at me, I can see the lust in her eyes. Oh, yeah, there's also that schoolgirl who blushes at the sight of me.
Jeez, he is so full of himself.
Man, I have so many options. I don't know who to choose.
You say that, but what type of girl do you like anyway?
My type?
Judging from what you've told me, the ages of these women seem to be all over the place. It almost sounds like you don't care who they are as long as they're women.
Well, it's not like it can be just anybody. But I have no strong preference when it comes to body type, nationality, or personality.
So basically, he's saying it could be anyone.
But there are women I'm no good with.
Like who?
Ladies with heavy northern accents.
That's oddly specific. Did you have a bad experience in the past?
It was during my first mission for the WDL. Someone couldn't make it last second, so I was called in to provide security for a certain woman. And she was very, very sexy.
Huh?
She was stunningly beautiful and constantly hit on me. But
he suddenly went quiet. She was so sexy, but what? What could it be? Was she actually a man?
it wasn't like I checked, but that's not it. That wouldn't be a deal breaker for me anyway.
Oh, it's not. Okay then. Was it because you couldn't do anything?
Yeah, she was super sexy and super beautiful. She was coming on to me, but I couldn't do anything. I was so nervous I completely froze up. A mistake of youth, but one I'll never make again. That whole experience was pretty traumatic for me, so now I'm no good with women who have a northern accent.
I see.
This goes without saying, but you better not tell anyone.
Right. I won't tell anyone if you don't want me to. But is it really that embarrassing? To be honest, I was kinda underwhelmed by it.
Huh? Nothing is more embarrassing than that! What kind of store doesn't take that opportunity? Gah! If I could go back in time, I'd perform an aerial double slap combo on my past self!
Oh, okay. But why did you tell me something so important?
Because you're my man. That means I don't hide secrets from you. It's a rule of mine.
Master, he's like a puppy eager to please.
Gotcha. I promise I won't tell anyone.
Then it's a promise, my man.
I don't think there's anything embarrassing about Desuhiko's story. But I'm happy he shared something about himself that he's ashamed of.
Master, you and Desuhiko seem to have grown even closer.
Hey, what's wrong, Desuhiko? You called me over, said you wanted to talk?
Yeah, about that. Anyway, isn't it so nice to be up here?
He's been acting like this for over an hour, not telling me why he called. Is it something you have trouble talking about? I don't know if you want to ask me a favor or something else, but you'll have to talk about it first.
Sorry, you're right. I'm just a bit afraid is all.
We're busy here, so hurry it up.
All right, here goes.
Right.
There's a big reason why I called you here today. Will you join my
Ben?
well, you know. Oh, this is too embarrassing. I can't say it. My man, you should know what I'm trying to get at.
You sound crazy. I have to do something or this won't end. What is he trying to say? Ben... what? Banana?
Yeah, bananas. Yeah, I haven't had any in a while. Wait, no!
Sorry. I guess that's not it. Desuhiko is trying to talk about... You wanna say band?
Yeah. How about we form a band?
Huh?
A band? Master's going to join a band?
You know, stars and bands go hand in hand. I always plan on going solo, but well, sharing the spotlight with a buddy of mine wouldn't be such a bad thing. For the first time in my life, I finally met someone I'd want to form a band with. It's because I finally met you, my man.
Desuhiko.
How about it? Do you want to make a band together? Let's journey on a path towards stardom side by side.
What?
What'll you do, Master?
What do I do? I'm happy Desuhiko invited me, but I don't know how to play any instruments. Besides, I'm not interested in joining a band or being a star. Sorry, I'm happy that you asked, but...
I see. I guess you don't wanna.
I don't know if this makes up for it, but how about I support you as a fan?
Huh? My fan? No way. I can't agree to that. Besides, you've never heard me sing before.
Oh, right.
And you want to call yourself my fan? I doubt it. You're just offering because you feel awkward for turning down my invitation. I'd rather you just completely reject me instead of saying that to make me feel better.
No, deep down, I want to be your fan. You told me before how you chose to be both a star and a detective. I think you're really cool for not giving up on either dream. And in that sense, I'm already your fan. That's why I'm serious about wanting to support you.
Well, if that's the case, I don't mind having you as a fan. But I still hate that you've never heard me sing. So listen to one of my songs right now.
Huh? You're going to sing right here, right now?
Yeah, my brand new banger, the song of my man.
To be honest, it was hard to evaluate if Desuhiko's song was good or bad. I'm not sure myself because I don't know much about music. But like his personality, the song was very straightforward and heartfelt. I believe Desuhiko will be able to achieve his dream of becoming a star. I don't know why, but I think it'll come true.
Master, you and Desuhiko have forged the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you. This is the first time we have been alone at the agency, Yuma.
Huh. Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. I know. How about I make you some coffee? Or would you prefer some tea instead?
Which is which again?
Huh? What do you mean by that?
How to put this? One is dark and the other a bit pale. Which is coffee and which is tea again?
What? That was a funny joke.
Huh? Did we just say something funny? In that case, please tell me what it was. I do not understand whatsoever.
Actually, it wasn't really that funny. Anyway, the darker one is coffee.
Oh, it is? Now that you mention it, that sounds right. However, this is quite troubling. There are far too many moments in my life where I cannot tell things apart. Just like with coffee and tea, I cannot tell the difference between an elevator and escalator, or left and right, or the day after tomorrow and the day before yesterday. I cannot differentiate many things.
That sounds rough.
Oh, there is more. Until recently, I thought paying reparations meant you were paying a repairman.
That's a new one.
She's such an airhead. I'm surprised she's managed to survive for so long.
Fubuki, have your misunderstandings ever gotten you into trouble?
Trouble. I suppose when all is said and done, I have managed fairly well. Oh, there was one thing.
Really? If you don't mind, can you tell me about it?
Yes, of course. Back when I was around 10 years old. In the neighborhood where my mansion is located, a rumor was spreading about a high school student who could fly. I hoped it was true and wished to meet him, so I went for a visit. However, he could not in truth fly, but was rather considered something called a flight risk.
At this point, it sounds like a comedy skit.
Oh, well, it gets worse. He was more than a mere delinquent. People considered him an extremist. Upon discovering I was the daughter of the Clockford family, he kidnapped me and barricaded us away.
Barricaded?
Yes. He demanded the government revise the Constitution if they wished me to be returned safely.
So, what happened after that?
was quite a while back, so I cannot really remember. In the end, the laws were changed a bit, and I was released.
The laws were... what? It makes sense a master detective, or rather a member of the Clockford family, would have such ridiculous stories. Being unable to tell coffee and tea apart should have been the least of my worries.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown closer.
Thank you kindly for keeping me company today. Because of you, Yuma, I have experienced takoyaki for the very first time.
Oh, it's nothing. I'm surprised you wanted to try some in the first place.
Oh? Why is that surprising? Could it be that my face resembles takoyaki, so you believe I am a cannibal?
That's not at all what I'm saying. You don't look anything like takoyaki anyway. It's just that you grew up like a princess. You even got kidnapped because of it. That's why I didn't expect you to want to try takoyaki.
Ah, so that is what you meant. But I am not as high class as you might think. My daily life is rather ordinary.
I sincerely doubt it.
Is that so? It truly felt plain to my eyes.
Well then, can I ask you a few questions? It'd help me get an idea of what it was like for you growing up.
Very well, if that is what is required to satisfy you. You can ask me anything, including my measurements or the password to my bank account.
No, I don't need to ask about those. Anyway, to start off, how many rooms did your home have?
How many rooms? I never really considered it. First the kitchens. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... I am beginning to grow confused. My apologies. I am not very good at counting such large numbers.
No, that's more than enough for me. There's really no point in asking any more questions, but this is getting kinda fun. Next up, what sort of car did your parents own?
Their car? Unfortunately, there were no cars at our home.
Huh? That's hard to believe. Do you know what cars are? They have 4 wheels and move on roads.
Yes, I have seen them around the city. But none of those tiny cute mobile huts were anywhere near my home.
Mobile huts? I'm guessing the cars at Fubuki's place are on a completely different scale. Okay, last one. What's the most expensive gift you've ever received?
A gift? Well, I am unsure how expensive it was, but the one that made me happiest was when I went with my family to look at the stars.
Huh? Stars?
On my birthday, my father told me a star would shine especially bright. I watched it with my mother and father. That time spent together was the greatest gift I have ever received. My parents are such busy people. I rarely saw them as a child. Oh? Is something wrong?
After asking so many petty questions, I feel real ashamed of myself. Even if you are rich, you're still you.
I am myself? That is true, I suppose. But Yuma, what sort of person do you think I am?
What do I think of Fubuki? Well, that's simple. You're ditzy.
Me? Ditzy? I have never been called that before.
Your reaction kinda proves my point. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to say. You're honest. You may be rich and ditzy, among other things. But the foundation of who you are is your honesty.
Well, I am not sure I would say I am honest myself, but it makes me happy to hear you say it.
You're honest. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said the time spent stargazing with your parents was your favorite gift.
Oh, that reminds me. After we looked at the star, my father purchased it for me.
Huh?
I am unsure how expensive that may have been, but I am certain that is the biggest gift I have ever received.
Considering how honestly surprised I am by all this, I must have been a lowly commoner before losing my memories.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
Thank you so much for spending time with me today. That was a splendid adventure.
That's a little much. We were just out for a walk.
Nonsense. Even if this was an ordinary walk for you, it was a proper adventure for me. This was also my first time using a vending machine and witnessing stray mice.
I see. Fubuki really has lived a sheltered life. Even everyday things are exciting for her.
I wonder if all her so-called adventures are like this.
Fubuki, you said you're an adventure detective, right? What kind of adventures have you gone on?
Do you mean what they were like?
Yeah. Would you mind sharing any that left a strong impression on you?
Well, the major one was the first time I explored what is known as a supermarket. No, it is far too early for you to appear bored already. Did you know? These supermarkets have hundreds, even thousands of different items lining their shelves. And yet all the employees there appear to know exactly where each one is located. I cannot begin to imagine the sort of training they had to undertake to obtain such a skill. Based on my findings, I suspect that supermarket employees have abnormally developed sections of their brains. Well, is that not exciting?
Sorry. I don't think supermarkets are exciting at all.
I see.
I knew it!
What about this? One time, I was undercover while investigating a tribe of nudists in the Amazon when they saw through my disguise.
What? That really happened?
Of course. Is something wrong?
Nothing. It just surprised me. That sounds like a real adventure.
I see. So that is what an adventure is to you, Yuma. How educational.
Wait, you were undercover in a nudist tribe and got caught? What about your underwear?
Huh? What do you mean?
Never mind, it's nothing. I shouldn't have asked. Were you alright? Were you in any danger?
I was fine. The nudists were kind-hearted. Even though they caught me, they treated me very well. And they said that even if I was investigating them, displaying our naked bodies to one another meant we were all family.
Naked bodies? How nice of them. Fubuki really thinks a trip to the supermarket and visiting a naked tribe in the Amazon are on the same level. Everything about her makes zero sense to me.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer!
Hey Fubuki, there's something I've always wanted to ask you.
Yes, what is it? I would tell you anything, Yuma. Even the password to my bank account.
No, I don't need your password, it's nothing like that. I'd like to know more about the Clockford family. You've mentioned them before, but I still don't quite get it.
I see. So you wish to learn more about my family. I do not mind. I will tell you everything I know. But first, how much do you already know about them?
What I know about your family is... they're in charge of keeping the world standard for time.
Yes, that is a correct assessment.
What does that entail anyway? I can barely comprehend something on such a scale.
How should I explain it? For example, it is exactly like deciding to call an apple an apple. Does that make it easier to understand?
No, now I'm even more confused.
Oh, really? Let me try to explain it another way then. To manage the world's standard of time means we manage what year, what month, what day, what minute, and what second it currently is on Earth. As an extreme example, so long as the Clockford family dictates it, we could move the date 10 years ahead or back.
That's quite a powerful privilege to have.
Indeed. It means we could make everyone in the world grow older or younger. Although they are just numbers on paper.
That's incredible. I can barely follow along. Wouldn't it be possible to mess up the whole world by abusing such power?
Indeed. We could tear it apart, chew it up, and spit it right out. But the Clockford family would not do such a thing. We protect the world's time to ensure that never happens.
Protecting the world's time. Sounds like a daunting challenge.
Yes, it is indeed a heavy responsibility for my family, if I do say so myself. Even 100 elephants would be considered lighter.
Your family is tasked with such an important responsibility. I'm surprised they let their daughter join the WDO. Even if it's to help you learn more about society, it's far too dangerous.
Yes, you are right about that. Although I have not been told officially, my parents do consider me the next head of the family. Permitting the successor to join the WDO would certainly be nothing short of insanity.
Oh, so you think so too?
I do. But alas, I had no choice. You know how I can be a bit of an airhead at times?
She's an airhead all the time.
Yeah, maybe from time to time.
They said they could not entrust the world's time to a daughter who is so ignorant. They would rather send me to the outside world to survive on my own than keep me blind to reality. Which is why my parents made the difficult decision of enrolling me in the WDO.
Wow.
It was to be expected. The continuation of the Clockford family is more important to the world than my own life.
She said it so casually. I'm sure Fubuki has experienced so much as the daughter of the Clockford family. She must have been exposed to many things regular people couldn't even imagine.
Still, my mother and father were right.
What?
I learned numerous things about society after joining the WDO. I have already grown far past who I once was. Compared to who I was before I joined, I am a completely new person now.
It terrifies me to think she was even more airheaded than she is now.
Master, you and Fubuki seem to have grown even closer.
I am sorry to have called you here, Yuma.
It's okay. What's wrong? You said you wanted to talk.
Well, about that, perhaps, maybe... Yuma, I believe I may be in love with you, romantically.
Huh?
What?
Oh? Did you not hear me? Then I shall say it again. I may be in love with you romantically, Yuma.
What?
What? Whenever I think of you, my heart feels warm and fuzzy, yet so anguished as well. I thought maybe this is the romantic feeling that people keep talking about.
That's impossible! Totally impossible! There must be some confusion. Maybe your mind is playing tricks on you. Someone as attractive as you would never fall for someone like me.
Oh, do you really think so? I find you quite an attractive man, Yuma.
I can't believe you think that.
Hey! Quit being all happy about it!
Well, I did not bring you here today to confess these feelings to you. Rather, if these truly are romantic feelings, I wish to thank you for them.
Huh? Thank me?
To tell you the truth, I have never had romantic feelings for anyone until now. I have had an arranged fiancé ever since I was little. Due to that, I subconsciously kept myself from falling for anyone. Although I yearned for those feelings of love, I knew I must not harbor them. I worried I would never fall in love. I have always felt such disappointment in myself because of it. But now, I have fallen for you and can experience what it is like. So, I wish to thank you for helping me learn what romance is. That is all. I just wanted to give my thanks.
Oh, in that case, I'm glad I could help. I guess? But wait, don't you have a fiancé? Having feelings for someone else is just going to end up making you sad.
Not at all. I have decided to talk to my father about turning down my arranged marriage.
Really? Are you sure? After all, wasn't that decided by the Clockford family?
Of course, it is vital to defend our family traditions and to obey my parents. All my life, I have lived with that as my highest priority. But now, I have decided to forge my own future. I have been thinking about it ever since I started working with you all at the agency.
I see. She's choosing her own future. I'm glad she can look at it that way. I'm happy for her. But even still, I think you may be mistaken about your feelings for me.
Are you sure? It is true I have zero experience with romance, so I cannot say for certain. Well then, how about this? Once I am able to confirm with certainty that my feelings are romantic in nature, then, at that moment, will you hear my confession once more?
You don't have to wait until later. You could say it right now.
Huh?
What the hell did you just say?
Sorry, forget I said that. I'm so stupid. What am I saying? She said she'd confess her feelings to me again someday. But that means... Well, if you really do have romantic feelings for me, then sure.
Thank you very much. Please, consider your response for when I next confess my love for you.
Would that mean I'd become heir to the Clockford legacy? No way, it has to be a misunderstanding. It has to be, right?
Master, you and Fubuki have forged the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.
Whew, finally finished a bunch of chores. Maybe I should go make some coffee.
Sorry. I had some soot in my nose.
Vivia, you were in there?
Yeah, I was here the whole time.
You could have at least said you were there. You scared me.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'll start doing that next time.
I don't mind, so please do.
Yuma, you're too kind. You never mind talking to me.
You know, I wonder why he always crawls into cramped spaces like that.
You find it calming in there, right? But wouldn't you be better off on a couch or bed?
If comfort level must be quantified in terms of the physical strain on your body, then yes. But this reminds me of something.
Reminds you of what?
Well, what do you think?
What Vivia remembers when he's inside the fireplace. Could it be bad memories?
You think I'm in here to purposely remember bad memories? Yuma, you think I'm some sort of masochist?
No, I didn't mean it like that. I guess that's the wrong answer. What does being inside the fireplace remind Vivia of? Is it a good memory?
Yes, that's correct. When I was young, my parents would always discipline me by locking me in the storage room. When I'm in here, I can relive those memories.
Huh? They don't sound like nice memories if you were locked in there. That seems pretty traumatic to me.
No, those are good memories for me. I have many brothers. We all yearned for our parents' love. So, No matter what shape or form it took, I was happy when my parents paid attention to me.
I see.
I know. How about you join me, Yuma? Once you get used to the back pain, it's actually not so bad in here.
No, I think I'll pass.
Master, you and Vivia seem to have grown closer.
I'm starting to get used to being alone with Vivia. Knowing who he is, this silence isn't really so awkward anymore. We don't have to force a conversation to break the silence, which makes it easier to be around him than the others.
I want to die someday.
Huh? That's awfully sudden.
Oh, did I think out loud again?
You sure did.
Sorry about that. Guess I surprised you. I'll be careful not to think out loud next time.
You're free to say what you want, but it sounds really concerning. And I've been wondering, what do you mean by someday?
What do you want to know?
Well, all people die eventually. I suppose I'm wondering if you want to die sooner. Saying someday makes it sound like you can't die. Wait, is that what it is? You can't die? That explained why you'd say something so strange.
Huh? He's undead?
That's a wonderful deduction.
I guess I'm wrong, though.
Well, I don't know about that.
What do you mean?
Being unable to die sounds like it's straight out of a story. So romantic. Yuma, what would you do if you gained everlasting life?
What would I do if I lived forever? I'd like to talk to people from all over the world. There's a limit to how many people you can meet in a lifetime. But it'd be a different story if you lived forever.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. Although, after a certain number, you begin to notice patterns, so it'd eventually grow boring. Anything else?
What else? If I had everlasting life, what would I want to do? I can't think of anything in particular.
That was quick.
Huh? Quick?
There is no end to human greed. Some people think that, but it's not true whatsoever. Everything comes to an end, just like how you couldn't think of anything else you'd want.
I think I just meant I didn't have any good ideas right now.
Someday, greed will end. Just like you would die before your greed could be satiated. Humanity too has a lifespan.
Uh-huh.
If you were to live forever, you'd see how tough life can be. It may be fun at the beginning, but eventually, I'm certain you wouldn't desire anything else. And once you were bored of everything, you'd reach the same conclusion all others would. That you hope to die someday. The moment you lose all desire, your final desire for death would be born. It all makes sense now, doesn't it?
Does it? But wait. Vivia, by that logic, doesn't your desire to die mean you're immortal?
You're free to think what you want.
That's not an answer.
It's enough for today. I need to go back to my world of books.
Did he just give me the runaround? Or is he always like this? I can't tell. I wonder if I'll understand him better someday.
Master, you and Vivia seem to have grown even closer.
Vivia? I was thinking of making some coffee. Would you like some?
Coffee would be nice, but there is a much greater problem.
What problem?
The large beast dwelling inside me is roaring louder than ever. No human could defeat the beast.
What are you talking about?
We can either grant its wish and coexist, or be consumed by it. Those are our only options now. Right now, it is about to crush my heart, for I have ignored its desires.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Please, help me.
Help you with what? Even if I ask him, he probably won't tell me anyway.
I guess you have to figure it out for yourself.
The beast from within is about to crush his heart because he has ignored its desires for too long. What Vivi is trying to say is... Could it be that you're hungry?
Yes. If I had to phrase it another way, I suppose that's it.
You could have just told me that.
I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. I can't take another step. I would deeply appreciate it if you brought me some bread or something. Thank you, Yuma. You saved me.
It's fine, but why didn't you eat anything? Not eating for a full day can't be good for your health.
So you want to know why? Let's take, for example, how many would want to try climbing a tall mountain range after first seeing it? However, very few would actually put that desire into action. Do you understand?
Not at all.
Well, that's fine. I don't mind.
But I do! Vivia won't tell me, so I should just figure it out again. I need to figure out why people don't go climbing mountains, to understand why he didn't eat yesterday.
Jeez, this guy is way too much trouble.
People don't climb mountains even if they want to, because... Because the mountain didn't call to them?
Huh? What are you even saying?
That's the last thing I wanted to hear from Vivia, of all people. People don't climb mountains even if they want to because... Because it's too much trouble?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
You felt it was too much trouble so you didn't eat for a whole day? Could you be any lazier? You know, Vivia, do you get theatrical like this on purpose whenever you don't want to talk about something?
Do I? We are all Rosso Pansan, and it's only once you realize it that you...
You're doing it again!
Master, you and Vivia seem to have grown even closer.
What are you reading?
Why do you ask?
It's rare to hear you laugh, so I was wondering what the book was about.
I see. So you wish to learn about the book. You won't know by the title alone, but the genre is... fantastique.
Fantastique?
It's not a major genre, so there's no need to be ashamed if you haven't heard of it. The definition of fantastique is up for debate, but the ones I prefer to read are the ones with ghosts and demons, stories of mythic worlds that cannot exist within our grasp of the laws of nature.
Uh-huh.
That doesn't sound interesting at all.
I guess it's kinda like how people who obsess over music end up listening to stuff regular people can't comprehend.
Well, I can lend it to you if you're interested.
Yes, please.
You're so kind, Yuma. But it's alright. I can tell you're not interested at all.
That's not true. Hang on, I should tell him directly.
Go ahead and think it over. We have all the time in the world.
I should tell him directly. I'm sorry. I think I'll pass.
No need to feel bad about it. I figured the odds of you saying no were 99%. Besides, this book isn't widely read in the first place.
Still, that surprises me.
What does? Me reading the Fantastique?
Well, it's more like I didn't expect a detective to be reading stuff like that. How do I put this? I thought detectives would read more logical stuff. Doesn't it feel weird to read something that's not realistic?
Reading just makes me feel sick, period.
No. I actually prefer stories where logic can't be used to explain it away.
I see.
If you think that illogical stories feel strange, perhaps you believe all mysteries must be solved.
All mysteries must be solved. I never really thought about it, but maybe you're right. You don't feel the same way, Vivia?
I believe some mysteries should never be solved. For example, UFOs and other supernatural phenomena. Many people harbor their dreams and fantasies in those mysteries, so shattering them is simply cruel. Besides, memories from our childhood are not all beautiful. However, there is no doubt they are innocent. If there is a river of time, its water is horribly murky.
There he goes again. I'm sure it's something he doesn't want to talk about. why would he think that way if he believes not all mysteries should be solved? Maybe that's where his secret lies.
Master, you and Vivia seem to have grown even closer.
What's wrong, Vivia? Were you reading Fantastique again?
No, it's a mystery this time. I think these are nice once in a while.
Oh, so you read those too?
I guess it doesn't fit me.
It is a bit of a cliche for a detective to read mystery novels. So you haven't read the genre in a while. What's this one about?
Well, I suppose I'd feel comfortable telling you.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
The protagonist is an earnest rookie detective. He began his investigation after receiving a request from a certain girl. Her mother died under suspicious circumstances. Who killed the girl's mother, and why? The rookie detective continues his desperate investigation. He seeks the truth, all for the sake of this girl. But the truth that awaits him is cruel. For the girl murdered her own mother.
Oh.
Wow, what a twist!
The girl may not have meant any harm, but her actions unintentionally caused her mother's horrible death. It was a tragic accident. The rookie detective didn't know if it was right to solve this mystery. What was the point in exposing this cruel truth to the public? Under a standard set of values, one would keep it a secret and remain quiet. There would be no benefit to telling the innocent girl she was the cause of her mother's death. However, the girl wanted that mystery to be solved with all her heart, not knowing she was the culprit all along. Should we reveal the truth to those who seek it, no matter how cruel it may be? Would you say lies made from kindness are truly kind? What do you think the rookie detective did in the end? Or rather, what would you have done, Yuma?
Me? I think I would have solved the mystery.
I see.
What did the rookie do in the end?
Well, human cells will always replace one another. The old vanishes, and in time, the new turns old. Considering that, am I the same person at birth as I am at death?
There you go again, trying to muddy the waters. Are you saying I should just read it myself?
Well, who knows?
You told me pretty much the whole thing, but kept the conclusion a secret. Wait, that book's story... Is it about you, Vivia?
Why do you say that?
It's something you mentioned before. Not all mysteries should be solved. Maybe it's your personal experience that led you to believe that.
Your deduction makes sense, but I'm not sure myself.
Please don't dodge the subject.
I told you, didn't I? I don't think all mysteries should be solved. Whether the story I told you now is from a book or my life, it doesn't change a thing. Anyway, I'm off to explore another world inside a book.
So, which is it? If that's what Vivia's been through, why tell me about it? Maybe in his own way, he wants me to understand him. That would be nice if it's true. Maybe this is an unsolvable mystery.
Master, you and Vivia have forged the ultimate bond together. Good for you, Master. I'm happy for you.